Hello, everyone. I'm James Milan, and welcome to this town hall update with our town manager, Adam Chapdelaine. Adam, as always, it's good to see you.
Good to be here. Thank you, James.
It's been a busy couple of weeks, of course, and it always is, right? So we're going to discuss today, at least briefly, the FY23 budget that is being kind of finalized right now, and also the fire at Chestnut Manor that happened earlier this week, and relief efforts to help those who were impacted by that. But I know that you want to talk also about the loss of longtime town meeting member Brian Rarig, who passed away last week. So let me invite you first to do that.
Thank you, James. So, as you just mentioned, the town suffered what I would really say is a tremendous loss with the passing of Brian Rarig. Brian served on town meeting for decades, served as a member of the Capital Planning Committee, most recently served as a member of the Arlington High School Building Committee, along with many other involvements and things that he participated in, led across town. And I think maybe more importantly than all of that is for anybody who had the pleasure or benefit of knowing him, he was just an incredible and unique human being. Someone who was passionate about many different interests in town, someone who was very caring about those who he built relationships with, and just a person that any of us who knew him were luckier to have known him. And the town was certainly fortunate to have him so committed to town efforts over the course of his tenure living in town. So sadly, he has passed. It is a tremendous loss, and the family is mourning, and many in the community are mourning. And I look at Brian and his example as someone that I hope we can all aspire to be, someone that cares about the town they live in, the town they work in, and does all they can to positively impact it over the course of their life.
It's a very powerful tribute. We appreciate it, and I know very, very well deserved as well. Our best goes to Brian's family. Switching topics, let's talk about the budget that I had mentioned. What should residents know at this point?
So this is the time of year where my office submits a budget to both the Select Board and the Finance Committee. That was due on January 15th. So we submitted that about a week ago, and it then starts to go through a Finance Committee hearing process. We have a little bit of an interesting alignment in our budget process where we submit our budget by January 15th, but then the governor's budget comes out a week after that, which tells us about local aid. So we just found that out yesterday. So we get some new numbers that we'll continue to update, and I'll be making my first presentation to both the Finance Committee on February 2nd and the Select Board on February 7th. Really, mostly overall, I would say this is a very status quo budget. We are trying to maintain spending levels as close to level as possible, based on the fact that in FY24, which would be the next fiscal year, is when we will have to start giving consideration to another operating override. So we're doing what we can to control spending in order to put ourselves in the best position possible for an override in a future year. There's much more detail to share, but my understanding is you'll be sitting with Sandy Pooler, who's the Deputy Town Manager for Finance, in the coming weeks, who will do a much deeper dive. We'll be posting the budget message online today. And then again, I'll be presenting in public forum to both the Finance Committee and Select Board to get into greater detail about what's contained within the proposal.
Thanks for that, and also for your preview of the conversation I will have, as I do each year, with Sandy Pooler about this. And as you said, it will be a deep dive, and is always really interesting to delve into and behind the numbers there with Sandy. So I look forward to that. Okay, last weekend, a fire ripped through Chestnut Manor, which, as people probably know, is an Arlington Housing Authority managed building that houses many elderly and disabled residents as well. I know that several residents have been displaced because of what happened, and that there's a fund to assist them. So can you just bring us up to date with these various efforts that are in process?
Absolutely. And I would start just by saying Another tragedy, of course, occurred as part of this fire with the loss of a member of the community in this fire. And I'd also want to start by saying it could have been far worse if not for the exemplary efforts of our public safety team, especially in the case of the fire department. This is a 100-unit building, and though the death is tragic, containing the fire to one unit is incredibly impressive work. And I think it's impressive work from the fire prevention point of view, knowing that the sprinkler system worked, had been inspected and was working as it was intended to be working, and that the response was rapid enough to be able to knock down the fire so quickly and limit both loss of life and property damage. So a huge thanks to the fire department, the police department, and all the others that were involved. Moving on to the recovery effort, the thanks can even be much broader, because a team that includes police and fire, health and human services, the Somerville Homeless Coalition, the Council on Aging, Arlington Eats, the American Red Cross have come together to work with the people living there who have been displaced. So I believe the total was 21 folks who were displaced during the fire. 2 have been able to move back in today, and 19 are soon to be given permanent new addresses within the Arlington Housing Authority. And once they've moved in, Arlington Eats will be part of the team to step up to help them restock their kitchens. So really tremendous efforts have been put forward to keep these folks safe and make sure that they have a roof and a permanent roof over their head. Additionally, a fundraising campaign was launched the same day as the fire through the coordinated efforts of the Council on Aging and the Health and Human Services team that, as of this morning, has raised about $27,000 to help those impacted. We'd like to go further than that. So anybody watching who would like to contribute, they can go to arlingtoncommunitycenter.org and find the link to contribute. Because if you think about $27,000 is a lot of money, but if you have 21 people displaced, and that doesn't necessarily go as far as you might think. So again, a tremendous team effort to help these folks. And for anybody in the community wondering what they can do to help out, contributing to this fund would be greatly appreciated.
Well, as you say, any loss of life in this way is a tragedy unto itself, but it is a remarkable story as well of response and resilience among the community and among the residents affected. So we will hope that all works out well from here for those impacted. And thanks again for that description and update. Okay, Adam, anything else that we should mention before we let you go?
So I'd add 2 things. One, we are continuing to offer COVID-19 testing to those who are symptomatic or believe to have been exposed to COVID in the town hall. The details are available on the town website in order to either make an appointment or walk in. So folks can take a look at that. That will be scheduled through the course of the next week. I would imagine it'll go on beyond that, but we have scheduled it over the course of the next week. And again, details can be found at arlingtonma.gov. Also, I want to celebrate the good work of Joan Roman, as well as really people across all town departments for a couple of awards that were received last week. So last Friday and Saturday was the MMA annual meeting, which was once again held virtually this year. And this year, the town won the best website contest for towns over a population of 25,000. It's been an award we've been trying to win for a long time. And I think with the website refresh, we finally got there. So I know I'm proud of that. Joan's very proud of that. And again, all the folks who help work and update all the departmental websites deserve a lot of credit for that. Additionally, every year we submit our annual town report for the annual town report contest. And we have a long streak of finishing in the top 3. And this year, the town report finished in 2nd place within the population category that Arlington falls into. And once again, tremendous credit goes to Public Information Officer Joan Roman and all those folks across every department that submit very thorough and informational reports every year that are incorporated into the annual town report. So we always are looking to get better, and we always know we can do better, but it is nice to receive an objective endorsement of our communication efforts like this.
And just a very, very brief clarification, MMA, as you mentioned, can you remind people what that is?
Yes, I'm sorry, acronym soup. The MMA is the Massachusetts Municipal Association.
Great. So the experts in this area, and really kudos to our friend Joan, who is also the shadow producer of these updates. She has worked hard, as you said, on the website and on the annual report, and in conjunction with other leaders in town. So congratulations to one and all on that, and nice to end on a positive note as well with what has been a lot of sobering news in this particular update. All right, we want to thank you, Adam, as always, for your time. We wish you the best in shoveling your way through the weekend, like the rest of us, and we look forward to speaking to you again in a couple of weeks. Thanks for joining us.
Great. Thank you, James.
I have been speaking, of course, with our town manager, Adam Chapdelaine, for this town hall update. I am James Milan. We do appreciate Adam taking the time to be with us and explain what he has. We appreciate you taking the time to take it all in. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time.